Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Core birch door questions. I can help you.
Okay. So it's going on a commercial building. It's a church. They're 3 feet by 7 foot.
Okay.
I see from the website that it has waterproof glue.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. You can get exterior rated glue.
Let's see. What did I see on here?
It won't say waterproof. If it does, that's an exaggeration. Waterproof means waterproof. Exterior rated, or type 2, I think is what they call it, is
right.
Intended for an exterior application, but waterproofing, is a different concept, I think. Is it a wood door that you're going to use in an application that's highly moisture?
Well, so I'm replacing doors that were on there originally, and that's what they had. And I've been told that they're not really exterior grade doors,
Sure.
but they lasted, I think, roughly 20 years. So, basically, I want them rated exterior, but I know that they're probably. I kind of wanted your feelings on it, whether like maybe the ones that are on there didn't have the exterior glue. They lasted roughly 20 years. So.
So any wood door that you're going to install that would be a commercial or architectural solid core flush wood door will have 0 warranty for an exterior application. Having said that, you can order it with structural lumber. You can order it with exterior glue. You can put 3 coats of marine grade finish on all 6 sides, and the door can last 100 years. Having said that, there's no warranty on the door. So how you mitigate that knowing that going into it is how you mitigate that going into it. I've sold a lot of doors in my life. And if it was me, that's what I would do. In a church, the front door of the church?
Yes, it's the front door and back door. They're both the same doors. They're 2. So it be a total of 4 doors, 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Yeah, I mean, and are these doors what the parishioners see when they come up to the elevation of the building?
So they're over. There is a overhang, so they're not continuously getting.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be. It's in New England, so the snow will pile up, but it gets cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's what was on there originally. So there's not. I don't want to change the jambs. I just want to change the doors.
Yeah, I mean, the doors that were there would not have had an exterior warranty. So.
Right.
If anything, let's assume that what we've outlined, structural composite lumber, type 2 exterior glue, marine grade varnish 3 times on all 6 sides. Let's just agree that that wasn't done originally. So what you do is probably going to last more than 2 decades. Again, having said that, there's no warranty. So if there's any giddy up to the door, any failure, the manufacturer just won't engage in conversation because their paperwork says there's no warranty for an exterior door. You could get epoxy paint and you can make that thing ready to be submerged in water. It's just you'll have to go through those gyrations. And if you do so, I think you'll have great success.
Yeah, and I'm not too concerned about that because they know about that already.
Okay.
So they know there's no warranty with the door. I mean, even if I went with a cherry or a mahogany, there's still no warranty with it, right?
Well, the species of wood, you're talking something that's going to be 30 thousandths thick and will have no bearing whatsoever on the integrity of the door. What face you put on it isn't going to matter.
Right. And I guess my other questions is I need windows put in them. Right now there's like a roughly 6-inch window that runs the length of the door. And they want to upgrade that to maybe a 10-inch window.
Oh, yeah. Any size you want at that point, sure.
And the other thing is I'm not a commercial carpenter. I'm more residential, but so I don't know too much about the commercial hardware. But right now there's on the passive door there's two pins, one upper pin, one lower pin one goes into the upper jamb and the other one goes into the threshold.
Sure. Flush bolts or surface bolts, yes, sir.
So I would probably need those milled out or installed.
Yeah, mortising for whatever hardware set you tell us you need it all prepped for. All that machining would be done at the factory before it shipped to you.
Okay. And do you know anything about the other side? The active side has it's either called the push bar or panic bar.
I do. I'm pretty dangerous on my feet about those exit devices, yes, sir. I would be surprised that both doors didn't need them in the sense of the occupancy of the church. Is it a relatively small church?
It's a relatively small church, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, you put an exit on one door. There's a number, a quantity of people occupancy that will determine if both of them have to have it or not. But regardless, super easy.
Is there any chance I can email you some pictures of what I have existing on there?
You bet. I'll give you my email when you're ready.
I'm not sure. Do I want so whether it's like I don't think it's called a panic bar. It's more like a push bar. It's
got a horizontal thing goes across the door. You touch it. And
that's right.
So we would call it an exit device.
It's not like the old. It's like the old that deactivated the two bolts. It disengages the jamb, if that makes sense. It disengages the where the door handle is to open it up.
Well, you've got a pair of doors. So where is that exit device latched into?
Into the passive door.
Okay. So is the bolt coming out of the edge of the door or on the surface of the door?
It's on the surface, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so that's just a rim device is what we would call that. Not the most ideal way to do it, but certainly the most common way to do it.
Yeah, and so getting back to the push bar, do I need that prepped, or can I drill my own holes with that?
No to the former, and yes to the latter. We can do as little or as much machining that you want. You might say, I can't tell you where to put the holes because then I got to take the hardware off, and I'll just drill the holes myself when it gets here. But those flush bolts, yeah, you go ahead and prep for those.
Yeah, that's definitely the flush bolts. Yeah. The hinges, I think I'm gonna mortise my own hinges just because those have to be right on, and I think it might just be easier for me to mortise my own hinges. I mean, I integrate those all the time.
Yeah, so Yeah, because you have that skill set. So you have two choices. You either give me the top of the door to the top of each hinge, and I will machine it accordingly, or you simply, you know,
Yeah,
do it yourself.
where it's being like an it's existing jam and stuff. I might want to play with my dimensions a little bit with the hinges. So that's why I'm thinking I
Sure.
might just be better do it myself. But I was concerned about the push fob. To me, it looks like, again, I don't have much experience with the commercial hardware, but to me, it looks like it's just screwed into the interior door. It doesn't even look like it's drilled. Like it's just. I mean, obviously, there's probably a hole for the lock set. I don't know what that entails.
It's
I
gonna.
mean, I'm familiar with the regular 2 3/8 back set. You drill a 2-inch hole, and I'm guessing it's a little different than that, but.
Not really. The back set is not going to be 2 3/8. It's going to be close. It's probably going to be 2.5, whatever it is, depending on your hardware. No, all bets are off because you've got a surface strike. The bottom line is you're just going to emulate when you replace the doors what that back set was. The hole, depending on your trim, could be somewhat, it could be just a single 2 1/8-inch hole and maybe a couple of other mounting holes, or it could be something a little bit more elaborate, but you're going to have the template in front of you. So, it's not going to, it won't elude your skill set, I don't think.
I'm more of I like to think things up, but I know, but I'm sure I can handle it.
Right, exactly.
And my other question is that they're not crazy about there's a lot of gaps in this door, and I think it's the nature of the 2 doors in a commercial door. I mean, there's not a lot to make it tight, right?
Well, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, probably what you would want to do.
You can see daylight at the bottom, because because where the 2 doors come together, the weather stripping can't go across there. It's stuff like that.
Yeah, but because you're going to do it from scratch, you can do it so that you eliminate these problems. What I mean is this: you would likely order the doors full and square, and you'll bevel them yourself. You'll trim them in the field to suit your rectangle. That's not a rectangle. You know what I mean? It's off a little bit somewhere. The sill's not level. The jambs aren't plumb. So theoretically, you can size the doors, or we can size the doors. You're going to plan the weather stripping so that it solves the problem. We can mortise an aluminum channel, like, say, into the meeting stiles of the 2 doors that will have a pile slid into it. Well, this material, before you slide the pile in, is going to have a screw that holds the aluminum channel in, obviously. The thing that makes it cool is there's a spring behind there, so that as you tighten the screw or you loosen it, you tailor the projection of the pile ultimately. That's good long term. It'll work day 1. It'll work 6 months because you've installed it. Well, what's the margin on your hinge knuckles going to look like after 5 years? It's going to be worn. Doors are going to sag. So you'll do that. You'll come up with a proper weather stripping solution. Maybe automatic door bottoms, door sweeps, drip caps, perimeter gasketing, all of that stuff. New England, yeah, I'm from Chicago. I get it. Cold is brutal. So your photos will reveal a lot more about how to proceed with a proper weather stripping option.
Okay. Yeah. Can I? Where should I send the photos to?
Yes, sir. My email is sales, SALES.
Okay.
At, now it's same as the website, absupply.net.
Okay.
And my name is Richard.
Okay. And if I decide to order them, where I'm in New England, I'm actually in Massachusetts.
The home of John Adams.
Say again?
The home of John Adams.
Yes. What does the shipping look like for that?
If we were to express the shipping cost in quantity of Bayer aspirin, it'd probably be 2. Yeah, it's gonna come LTL. It's gonna come LTL. My factory is outside of Detroit. Churches are considered residential addresses, so it's going to be a few $100s just for the freight alone. But the good news is you're going to get exactly what you want: structural lumber, exterior glue, et cetera. And you could even have them do a clear on it if you want, and then you could just go over it with your own material, because them doing the finishing there is really, really cheap, because they've got the machinery. They do a UV finish on it, but they won't take it to the level that you probably need to take it to.
Okay. I had one other question. Trying to think. What's the lead time, you think?
Well, it is. So we are in the second half of June. It is the busiest season for all manufacturers because of the school work. So normally it would be 5 weeks. I would expect it to be 6 or 7 in this kind of situation.
Okay. Great. I thank you for all your information, and I will send those pictures to you, and kind of maybe give you the dimensions and stuff.
Absolutely, and we'll detail a proper pair of doors. In terms of the specifications, you'll let me know what hardware you're going to use or reuse, or what you're going to need to buy. Obviously, new hinges would be a really smart idea. Heavyweight hinges, so they last many, many, many years, decades. And
I'd like to definitely buy some new hinges, get some quality ones. The flush bolts and the push bar and stuff, I'm hoping to reuse that. I don't see why not. I mean, it's in good working condition.
I couldn't agree more. The only disadvantage of the system you have now is that strike hangs into the opening. And if that's not an issue, then it's not an issue. The real downside of replacing it to make it more elegant would be very costly, because it becomes a mortise style exit device, and those are well north of $1,000.
Yeah.
So probably.
If it was, I don't think they're hung up on that. Put it that way.
Yeah, right on. They're not literally not hung up there. They don't catch their coat sleeve on it.
That's true.
Yes,
yeah. Okay. Thanks so much for giving me information.
You betcha, sir. I look forward to your email. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.